Hello, ladies and gents. Thank you for tuning into the second episode of Battlefight 3000,
Battlefight 3000.
the bi-weekly podcast that challenges the status quo when it comes to versus battles.
We are Chris.
And Dave, your beloved host, and we will be taking you on a magical journey through the most requested battles in history.
Or the ones that interest us the most.
Without further ado,
Let's start the show. What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 2 of Battlefight 3000.
Numero dos. I don't know why I fucking did an accent. I actually speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I could have just said it in the normal accent.
I also love that you showed the number 2 on your fingers.
I wanted you to see it.
No one else got it, but I appreciated it. So yeah, welcome to Numero Dos of Battlefight 3000, the show where we look at real and fictional fights and debate about them. Dave, do you want to tell the folks kind of where we got our idea from?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually huge fans of the show Deadliest Warrior and Animal Face-Off. And I think it just came natural to sort of take our frustrations to the recording board with regards to these famous fights throughout history.
Yeah.
Like the last episode where we did Terminator versus RoboCop.
A great episode. For those of you who don't know, Deadliest Warrior and Animal Face-Off, they pitted like real warriors together in Deadliest Warrior, so like samurai versus ninja.
Right, throughout time.
And would look at it very in-depth. Some would say too in-depth.
They had a full fucking scientist
Yeah.
that created a model to see who would actually win.
Yeah, it was super legit and super amazing. And the same thing with Animal Face-Off, where they would like build these mock-ups of animals and have them fight.
Right, with like precise to like the PSI of their bites and whatnot.
Yeah, like I feel like that's going to be our go-to example of the science because we are not scientists, as you will soon find out.
We rely heavily on Wikipedia.
So the goal will be to have these fictional battles and just heavily research them. We're not at the part where we're heavily researching them, but our hearts are in it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we know enough from our experience as humans on the planet Earth.
Yep.
So I think we should we really rely heavily on those and then get a little bit of YouTube and Googling on it.
Yeah, the internet is going to be my always source, I think.
Yes.
I don't have a lab in my apartment, so can't do the tests.
Right.
One day I will.
Especially because it'd be hard to build a RoboCop and a Terminator to, fuck shit up in your apartment.
I mean, they did it in 1984, so
That's very true.
it's 2018. I could do it now. So as Dave mentioned, our one last week was RoboCop versus Terminator. Dave, you were RoboCop, and I was Terminator. I think.
Yep.
We had our listeners vote on a poll on our I was gonna say Tinder. It's not Tinder.
they swiped on the Terminator. Some swiped on RoboCop, but overall they both got matches, which was great.
Those lucky guys.
Someone even super liked my character, so that was
nice. Great. On our Twitter page, I think we had 150,000 people replying.
It was either 150,000 or 150 million. I can't remember. It was a lot of zeros.
Or it was literally zero because we did not put.
Right, because this is pre-recorded before release, and no one really know about this.
So if you were listening, and at the end of our last episode, you actually went to the Twitter page and voted, it does not count.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, Terminator won, absolutely 100%. RoboCop sucked.
So that's where we're at on that one. We promise when we actually decide to put these out, we're gonna have votes.
Yeah, then we'll start listening to you guys.
Until then, it's us.
Yeah. Yes.
It's daddy's show, and we're just gonna take it. We're both daddies on that.
Just so you know, we don't need you guys, right? We can do this on our own.
But
Dave, do listen and vote.
Dave is speaking for himself. I need you. I need validation.
I do give
love.
a fuck. I give lots of fucks. I'm sorry.
I give at least 4 fucks.
I was trying to be a big man. I need you guys. Do vote.
Yeah,
I'm nothing without you.
Yeah, otherwise it's just us talking in an apartment, which is fun, but not the goal.
Yeah. I like to have other people see when I do my number 2 in my hand.
Again, I'm not sure if you understand podcasts, but no one is going to see it.
I don't get it. I don't get this radio podcast thing.
I thought radio was dead, but apparently not.
It's just different.
Yeah. Okay, so on to this episode. As per last week, we're going to start it off with our prelim fight of the night. Last show, it was pen versus a sword. I believe we both came down on the side of
the sword.
Yeah,
because he was sharp and better.
Yeah, the pen is not great. A Bic ballpoint will not take out a sword.
No, it's good to blow out wet tissue paper from, but that's about it.
Oh, spitballs! I got it. Okay.
So this week we have Woody from Toy Story.
Oh, Toy Story franchise, beautiful.
The fucking trilogy.
Soon to be four.
Soon to be 4. I'm actually quite excited about that. I want to see what sort of trouble Andy's gonna get when he comes back from college, smoking weed and playing with them toys, or maybe those mushrooms. I don't fucking know.
I don't know, but those geniuses at Pixar will know.
Hey.
Anyway, so it is Woody versus who?
Oh, versus a famous guy that's blowing up right now, Mr. Arthur Morgan. I don't know if you've heard from him.
I've not heard from him. I've heard of him.
Oh. Yeah, he hasn't called. He hasn't returned any of my letters, actually.
He is a fictional character. For those of you that don't know, recently the video game Red Dead Redemption 2 dropped, and it's incredible. And the main character's name is Arthur Morgan.
And he's also a cowboy.
So this battle makes sense. Arthur Morgan is a known criminal, maybe with a heart of gold. Depends what direction you take him in.
Yeah.
And Woody is a toy.
But also a cowboy.
Yeah.
And he has about, 5-7 phrases he can say?
I mean, yeah, if you pull the string. But otherwise, I'm assuming for this battle, we're going to say he's the actual live toy. He can do
Oh, okay. Okay,
yeah.
fair. I'm just saying he could also say 7 pre-recorded things.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
There's a snake in my boot. Etc.
Yeah. Now, following that battle, we're going to go into the main event, which will be
Werewolves versus
vampires.
Whoa.
And we're super pumped about that.
Yeah, you'll see what side we take and who's going to win.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's start the show. All right, now before we get into the main event of the night, the main battle, vampires versus werewolves, we're going to start with a little preliminary battle of Woody from Toy Story versus Arthur Morgan of Red Dead Redemption 2.
I would like to say we should call him Woody the Sheriff and give him the respect he deserves. He won a vote to get sheriff.
That's again, to Woody, if you're listening, my most sincere apologies. I do mean Woody the Sheriff.
Yep. Or Sheriff Woody, whatever we want to call it. But
Yeah.
give him that honorific.
His buddy, Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
What did he call him?
He called him Woody, but he earned that right.
Right, because we're not.
Yeah.
I'm me and him.
We are not on first name basis with Woody.
Fair.
One day.
Sheriff Woody, if you're listening, thank you. And again, sorry about the mistake.
We thank you for your service.
Absolutely, 100%. Keeping the town safe.
Okay. On the count of 3, say who you think wins this fight. 1, 2, 3. It's Arthur Morgan. It's Arthur Morgan.
100%. I mean, regardless of anything, he's got Deadeye.
Yeah.
That's it. Done.
I would also throw out that he's a human.
Well, a character in a video game, but...
Yeah, okay. But in this world, I would say he's a human compared to a toy.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's very correct.
He has weapons.
Many.
Yeah.
He has a really fast horse.
Yeah. Gotta get
He
that.
can skin animals.
Yeah.
Can Sheriff Woody
No,
skin animals?
Sheriff Woody, I believe in the past he has stopped the heist of a piggy bank.
Right.
He has stopped an old prospector. He has. Who was
What about Buzz, the kid from next door who was a dick?
Oh man!
Oh no, that's not his name. It's not Buzz. What is it, Chad?
I was gonna. You're just Chad's a douchebag name. It's gonna be Chad. His name is Sid.
Sid.
So he took out Sid. He took out lots of Huggo Bear.
Yeah.
With the help of a crew, though.
He helped a bunch of aliens. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
From a pizza joint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he took out Sid, who is a human being.
That's
a human child with, I'm going to say some issues. Some.
A lot of fucking issues.
Like, I hope that his future job has really good health care because he needs to talk to someone. He needs to work out those things.
Sid got beat up a lot as a kid. Probably still does to this day.
You know what? I don't think he did. I would say that's the kind of people.
That was a crack house. Sid lived in a crack house.
Oh, he lived in a nice suburban area.
His mom's an alcoholic and did oxys.
So you're saying that Andy lived next to a crack house. This just changes the movies for me.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And you would never know. She goes and grabs prescription meds and just downs oxy. Or Percocets. I don't fucking know.
Oh, man. That's the thing I love about Pixar, how there's the kid stuff, but then there's also the things for the adults. So if you love toys and if you love The Wire, Toy Story is for you.
Or if you're all about depression, there's Up too. Just watch the first 10 minutes.
Oh,
You don't need anything else.
That is...
I'll show you about how to crush your dreams.
Oh, my God.
But
He had such a nice life.
Not to digress.
We've digressed. But,
a little.
So, yeah. I would say, what does Woody have going for him? He has a crew of very loyal friends. 7
pre-recorded phrases.
Yep.
He can use that back rope as a lasso.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's done that in the past.
He has a match.
Oh, right. Yeah. So
he doesn't have any bones to break, and he's pretty flexible.
Right. He has shown that he can be torn, though.
Yeah, but also be re-sewn.
Yeah, I mean, Arthur Morgan's not going to sew him back together, though.
No, that's true.
He could if he wanted. So, yeah, he's shown ingenuity. He's got himself out of a lot of scrapes that are also his fault, but...
He can skateboard on a Hot Wheels thingy.
Yep.
Not very well.
But he did it.
But he didn't.
Wait, no, you're thinking of
No, but he also tried it. Woody tried it.
Okay.
Unsuccessfully, but...
He got going a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, Arthur Morgan. Bigger than a Hot Wheel.
Way bigger.
So that's more of an annoyance for him to step on. He has guns, which we mentioned. He has knives, which I think
he can dual weld guns.
Yeah. He can... Knives are very good against stuffed animals, I believe.
Very, yeah. I believe they would cut through them right away. There's also the Deadeye, the big-ass horse he can step on.
Mm-hmm. Arthur Morgan also has a crew, a little posse. Badasses. So I said posse. Posse. Yeah, I don't see a way that Woody wins this one.
No, he doesn't. Sheriff Woody, I'm sorry. You lose.
Rip. You will get a nice service because you're an elected official, so that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the TRX will want to do that. Or if they'll just elect someone else, or, Buzz will probably just take over.
But there is that cowgirl. Oh,
yeah,
Jesse.
I guess so, but, not if the mom flushes him down the toilet.
What did your mom do with your stuffed animals? No, those go in a garbage. They don't get... That is how you clog.
Yeah, but if it's shredded to pieces from that knife...
Yeah, I mean, still, just throw it in the garbage, Andy's mom.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's the garbage compactor, too.
Yeah, he survived that, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think he survives this one. Arthur Morgan, you are our champion, and...
you win, sir. You win.
keep on doing you. And I think that's it for our prelim.
That's it. Yeah, we're ready to move on.
Man, we just blew through that one. That was no competition.
There was none. It was kind of like the pen and the sword.
Yeah.
There was just no competition.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you wanted to write a letter.
We are not going back to that.
But even Zorro found a way to write with a sword.
Yeah, he did.
He was pretty fucking good at it, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like whole parts of like body modification where they're doing that now.
Right. What is that
scarring.
called? Yes. Scarification?
Scarification?
Scarification.
I prefer scarification. It sounds really spooky. And we did just have Halloween, so it's topical.
Oh. So when you guys listen to this in July, know that we recorded this back in October.
It's November, but we did just have. Yeah.
Right, but it was just October, like 5 days ago, maybe.
Yeah, that is how calendars work.
I think so. I believe so.
I think on that note, where Dave learned how calendars work, we move on to our main match.
Yeah, next thing, how it's made.
What?
All right, let's move on to our main battle. Here we go.
And welcome to the main event.
Final bout.
Yeah, this is what you've been waiting for. We are moving away from the world of cowboys to the world of myths and monsters.
Mythical creatures. From the underworld.
Not really.
Are they not from the underworld?
Well, they were part of the Underworld franchise, so.
Oh,
man, you got to watch those.
I don't know.
No, you don't need to. They're not good.
Okay.
Sorry for anyone involved in the production of those movies, but you know I'm telling the truth. So, as an underworld, we are doing werewolves versus
vampires.
So obviously, the way we said that, Chris, myself, I'm doing werewolves.
And I am sticking with the vampiri.
Oh.
Little Draculas here and there.
I hope you refer to all vampires just as Draculas.
I might actually.
So we're going to move into those. It's, a well-known battle, but I think we have something to add to it.
Yeah, I think you'll find with us that, yes, it's been done before, but we're going to do it better. Because there's nothing like a battle with very little research.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm going to stick with better. I don't know if we can promise that. Different.
Notice how I didn't make any assurances or warranties.
I can guarantee it'll be different, though. Okay, so I figure we'll go over kind of background about the different combatants. So I'll start with werewolves. If you don't know what a werewolf is, it is a human that turns into a wolf. If you don't know what that is, then how did you even get this podcast to work? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm at a loss here. And in case you guys didn't know, a vampire is a human that just became that much more amazing. Mm-hmm. So yes, he's got big fangs. He can suck blood. Mm-hmm. He's just a badass dude.
Yep, I think that's ripped straight from the top of Wikipedia.
Perhaps.
Human,
I
but
may
better.
have. It's like a human 2.0. I may have put that as that was my entry into Wikipedia, and it got deleted right away.
For rules for this fight, it's not going to be like the last show where you had specifics, kind of iterations of these characters or creatures. Like last one, you had old RoboCop only.
Right.
I had the Arnie, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm on that.
Yeah, with
nickname
this one
basis with Arnold.
Right.
I only used the Arnold Terminator.
Because there were way better Terminators out there that could definitely kill RoboCop. Not that mine ever stood a chance, but
yeah. But I think for this one, we're doing Sky's the Limit. Any known myth or variation of werewolf.
Right, because
Or
throughout
vampire.
history, there's been like every single werewolf and every Dracula or vampire that people have come up with have been so different from the
Yep.
last. So we figured we would leave it on an open field and
Yeah.
pick and choose.
Yeah, it lets us make our arguments a little bit better. So again, I'll go back to werewolves. First known mention was around 27 to 66 AD, but they became more prevalent during the Middle Ages. They are also called lycanthropes. They were famously persecuted along with witches during the 16th and 18th centuries. So that's like they got some bona fides. They can be created and turned into a werewolf either by being bitten or clawed by another werewolf. They could be cursed by someone to turn into a werewolf. And it could be also hereditary. There were actually some myths where if you put on a wolf belt, you can become a werewolf.
And those were very popular back in the day.
Yeah.
Everyone had wolf
Like,
belts.
why wouldn't you buy a wolf belt if it? What's the drawback?
Right. And there was also, and he was sort of like living on the edge too. Like, I'm going to go shot a wolf, then skin it, make myself a belt. And is it an infected wolf? Is it a werewolf? I don't fucking know.
I don't think it mattered. It just said like wolf. So,
What about a wolf vest?
oh man, that's like double or triple the werewolves. I assume that's how it works. It just multiplies.
Do you think there was like a fashion thing where you could only wear one wolf thing? And someone would come with like all wolf, and they're like, "Oh, okay, listen, that's a faux pas." It's like, just don't.
It's like the Canadian tuxedo. You can't do all denim. You can't do all wolf.
It's a big no-no in wolf fashion.
Yeah. So, that's kind of the deal with werewolves. They can some different variations. They either turn into like a human with wolf characteristics, so like longer hair and claws, but they still like human, or they can become like more wolf-like, and then finally they can just become like massive wolves. The example of that was in the Twilight movies. So yeah, there's a lot of different variations, a lot of different strengths and weaknesses, which we'll go over, but that's the background. They're one of the most famous monsters ever. So, Dave, what do you know about vampires?
I mean, yeah, the werewolves are cool, but vampires are probably one of, if not the most written about sort of mythical creatures, I guess you could call them.
I will call them that.
Right? So vampires, or the notion of vampires, have existed for hundreds and thousands of years, right? Cultures such as the Mesopotamians, Hebrews, ancient Greeks, Romans, even in North America, Central and South, the Caribbean, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, they all have had tales of demons and spirits, which are considered vampires or precursors to vampires.
They travel well.
They do. It's
Very
fun.
worldly.
Very. Yeah. Vampires were also the in part of folklore for some countries. They were beings that often visited loved ones and caused mischief and death. So even back in the day, they were badass. They were punk rockers.
Yeah, I don't know if I would ever use the term mischief for a badass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was
This
was
badass
back in the day.
This rebel's causing hijinks.
Back in the day, that was
Stop
a pretty...
it with the tomfoolery, Mr. Vampire.
Shut the front door, mister. What are you doing here?
Also, what kind of you're undead and you're visiting your loved ones? That's a terrible way to be visited as a loved one. I would never want my dead relative visiting me as a vampire.
Well, but that's the thing. He was never dead.
No.
There's also the old school story that Dracula came from Vlad the Impaler from Romania,
Yeah.
right? From the city of Brasov and not Transylvania, what everyone think. But
Well, Transylvania is a section. It's a portion of Romania.
right. But it's not Brasov, which is where Vlad the Impaler used to live and rule from. And the guy was kind of fucked up. He was just a human being, right? But he used to kill people and actually put these
Steak.
wooden stakes,
Yeah.
but like they were gigantic, and sort of put them in people's assholes
Yep.
and let them slip to their death.
Yeah, so not like a butt plug kind of thing. More.
Right, like a really big butt plug that hurt, and there was no lube, and
murdered
you were
you.
gonna die from it.
And went through your whole body.
Right, yeah. So,
one of
that was
those.
Vlad.
Not a big seller in the butt plug industry.
No, they discontinued them. That's Romania does not sell those anymore. And Vlad was probably the only one using them, to be honest. So when he died, it's like, well, I mean, the market just shrunk to zero.
Okay, so yeah, we got Vlad the Impaler. I feel like largely vampires have a lot of the same characteristics. It's not the same as werewolves, where they could have like part human, part they're just like they're vampire.
Right.
Although sometimes you'll see like older vampires can become like this crazy like beast,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
which was seen in the movie Van Helsing, which I would recommend no one see. So yeah, so I guess that's kind of our background for these creatures. I think next maybe touch on where they are in pulp culture. You had already mentioned that vampires are one of the most portrayed or written about mythical creatures ever.
Yes. There's books, plays, comic books, or graphic novels. There's movies, there's TV shows. The most famous one nowadays being the Twilight Saga,
Yep.
which portrayed both your werewolves and my vampires. But then again, there's been comedies.
Team Jacob for life.
I'm the other one, Edward.
Edward, yep.
Eddie.
Yeah, you got it.
You're too soft.
Yeah, so comedies you were saying?
Yeah, there's comedies. There was Dracula. What was his name?
There was, I don't know which one you're thinking of. There was like Dracula Dead and Loving It with Leslie Nielsen.
That was great.
I
That was
never
great, but that
saw
was
it.
a movie. I meant the cartoon.
Oh, there's like Count Duckula.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
There's also serials, Count Chocula. And there was the Count that taught us all how to speak Spanish or English if you lived in a Spanish-speaking country like me.
One, two. Well, they taught numbers.
Yeah. 3 bats. Ah. He was pretty badass. There was
I feel
no
like you
wolf.
chose vampires just so you could do that.
I just don't remember seeing any werewolves in Sesame Street.
Right.
I mean, Animal was probably the closest.
Yeah, I guess so. Cookie Monster loses control like a werewolf.
I guess. But yeah, so what I was getting at is the extent of the media. There's been plenty. You have Interview with the Vampire, which had Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
And a young Kirsten Dunst.
And a young that
Oh,
person.
Antonio Banderas.
Oh, hola.
A lot of people. Christian Slater.
Oh, shit,
That
he
had
was in that
like,
one.
yeah, he was the interviewer interviewing the vampire. It's a legit cast.
See, mine was Lost Boys. That was a
the
badass movie.
Coreys.
Yeah, the
I
other
like
Coreys.
it. Kiefer.
Yeah, young Keefe.
And what was it? One of Bill and Ted.
Oh, yeah, I don't...
Alex Winters. I think that was his name. Yeah, so been around. Buffy.
Yeah, Buffy the Vampire
Angel.
Slayer. She killed vampires, so we'd rather not talk about that because...
Yeah, but I mean, they were in there.
It's a
and
touchy
then
subject.
Angel had his spin-off, and he was a vampire.
No, true.
Yeah. Bunnicula, which was like a vampire bunny. Yeah, like everywhere. Read in books. Yeah, Dracula the book.
Video games,
Really?
right? Yeah, there was oh
Yep.
Jesus, why am I? There was the Legacy of Kain. So all that series of video games for PlayStation 1 and computer, I guess.
Transylvania, where I think the bad guy was a vampire.
Yes, that's the one. Devil May Cry, I think. Oh no, actually, I shouldn't. People are gonna fucking hate me. I don't think he was a vampire. Maybe he was. Fuck, I don't know.
Anyways, point is,
But Transylvania, that was the main one.
I mean, the vampire loses, but whatever.
Yeah.
But the point is that there are a lot of them. Werewolves, they're there as well. Maybe not nearly as much, but I think it becomes an issue of quality rather than quantity.
Okay, here we go.
So,
Why don't you tell us about your werewolf in the media?
okay, well, I will. There's no real famous werewolf book that I could think of. So, yeah, literature side, you win for sure. But they've been in things like they were in the Twilight movies, as you mentioned. A couple of characters in Buffy were. Oz from Buffy was a werewolf. There was the classic Wolfman movies. I believe it was Lon Chaney was in that. American Werewolf in London. The Howling. A little movie I like to call Teen Wolf.
Oh.
And Teen Wolf 2. Some say snubbed for the Oscars. I would agree, but
I'll tell you what. He was a good b-ball player.
oh man,
He was a baller.
basketball player, and then Teen Wolf 2 was a boxer. And like legit great actors. Michael J. Fox in the first one, Jason Bateman in the second. Some say both are their greatest roles. And what they will forever be known for.
Not Back to the Future.
Sorry, I've not heard of that
Oh,
one.
okay. Fair. All right.
Yeah, so
That's what we're
Teen
gonna
Wolf.
play.
You got any other ones?
No.
No? Okay, that's what I thought. Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf. They even made a TV show about it.
In a cartoon, if I'm correct.
I'm not too sure. Maybe
Mm.
I would watch that. I'd watch.
I want to
that
say
now.
I've watched it, but I'm probably lying. But for some reason, my brain's saying, "Yeah, you watched that cartoon."
Well, there's no one who's going to check if you have, so it would be impossible.
Especially if this never airs.
Was that the count again? But yeah, I'll give it to you where there's not that known character like Dracula. There's no singular.
Right, and I think you're right. I think to me at least, there's either crazy fucking werewolf that goes insane and rips his clothes and just causes shit, and
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox in Teen Wolf. Those are the two werewolves
versions.
that
Yeah. Yeah, true. So, as we mentioned at the start, this battle has been done maybe once or twice. It's
1,000,
I don't know. It's
2 million.
It's a pretty classic one, but I think it's a good one.
It is, especially if the way we're doing it, where we're allowed to take every iteration of either.
So, some examples of where they've been in the Underworld movies, which we had mentioned earlier.
Right, the Van Helsing one.
Van Helsing, yeah, I had forgotten about this until I did some research. Van Helsing at the end turns into a werewolf to fight Dracula, and spoiler, werewolf wins. Underworld.
Yeah, but you also said the movie sucks, so
yeah,
really it loses all credibility.
I think all the movies we're about to mention are not great, so that can't be a criteria.
Okay, fair.
Underworld movies, the vampires just like run shit. Yeah,
Which is fair. That's usually how it goes.
historically, I guess the werewolves were their slaves. So I mean, good for you.
Because fucking werewolves lose their temper, and they can't do shit.
You are supporting slave owners. You're on the
I'm
wrong
not-
side
I'm
of
not-
history here.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I'm not.
as long as you're fine with that stance, where we can all say that David is
But if
supportive of slavery.
if half the time you have a rabid dog, what do? You have to fucking chain it. And if it has a lot of energy, like, well, maybe make it row something or create energy by like running around a mill.
Okay. All right.
And then during the day when you're okay, it's like fine, you can walk around the fields for a little bit, sing songs if you want.
You got to
Pick some
go to
cotton,
church,
maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Too far.
Okay.
Okay, there were the Twilight movies. I do not know who won those battles. All I know that they were fights between them.
Oh, I don't think anyone won. They all lost.
Stephanie Meyer, the creator, certainly won.
Yeah.
And then,
And so did Edward and Bella.
yeah,
Team Edward.
Team Jacob. There was a great movie called What We Do in the Shadows.
Don't know that movie.
Oh man, it's an amazing New Zealand movie. The guy who directed it later directed Thor Ragnarok. Anyways, it's about these vampires.
Name
and
dropping over here.
I can't remember the man's name. Is it name dropping if you can't remember their name? Anyways,
fair.
they like have more of like a playful banter with werewolves. And then Tales from the Crypt. And my personal favorite, there was the battle in Werewolves on the Moon versus vampires.
Which, of course, the vampires won.
The heroes of the book were the werewolves, so I'm assuming they won.
That's not how I read it.
I really want to read this because it looks incredible, where werewolves move to the moon because they are able to live constantly because they get their powers from the moon. They are always powerful, and then the vampires live on the dark side of the moon. And
Which
then
is
they
the
battle.
good side of the moon. I mean, Pink Floyd wrote an entire album about it.
It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a dark. So those vampires are fucking stupid, and they would die very quickly.
Also, I'd like to point that if you guys Google these werewolves on the moon
Versus vampires.
the cover, it's an American werewolf. He's carrying a fucking American flag.
Stabbing through the heart of a vampire.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. But anyway, so we're aware that this is well-trod earth. This has been done, but whatever. We wanted to do it, so fuck you.
Yeah, you know what? It's our podcast. We don't need you guys.
We do.
We
We've been over
do.
this.
I'm
We
sorry.
need you.
I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I love you guys.
Do you want to start at the physical abilities?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'll start.
All right, start it.
I just want to say, first and foremost, vampires are they're bad boys. They're suave, they're charismatic. They can turn into bats, which
Yeah, so that's one of the myths. They can turn into bats, which
is pretty awesome because you can fly away. Now, you can't see, but you can fly away.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing more intimidating than one single small bat
Flying in a
scampering.
circle, trying to fucking find
Like,
the exit.
oh my god! So yeah, I guess that's a real bonus if you're a coward.
Yes. I also just want to say, I don't know if this will apply, but you know the chupacabra. That's what he does. He gets their blood from his victims as well. So some say he's kind of like a vampire.
So what you're saying is vampires are not original. I gotcha.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm just saying we have vampire dogs. That's what it was.
Okay.
We have fucking
Vampire bats as well. A real thing. Okay, so can turn into a bat. What else have you got?
we actually, and I'm saying we as in I'm team vampire now. We can turn other people into vampires by sucking their blood, but can also hypnotize people.
I mean, that's mental.
Yeah.
What about physical? Are they
Physical.
strong?
That's true. I fucking totally jumped the gun. Yes, vampires are actually very, very strong. Yes.
Yes.
We're very strong. We also don't age.
Yep. Okay, so that's good.
So I'm fucking. If you don't notice it, I'm turning myself into a vampire. I'm gonna be method recording podcast.
Okay, so you're gonna try to suck my blood and
Maybe.
age during the recording. So it's good.
We have heightened senses, strength, reactions, fast healing. You know, I told you we don't age. And we also have some psychic abilities.
All right. Okay, so that's your physical stuff.
Yeah.
I will tell you the physical for a werewolf.
Tell me, please.
Okay, super strong. The strongest, like just crazy. Like, I would say that the werewolves are your classic gym rats.
Like more than a vampire.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're the guys who are doing like wind sprints, fast twitch stuff.
They do CrossFit.
100%.
Dracula goes to Equinox
For
or
any,
LA Gold.
yeah, for people not in Toronto downtown, they go for like the for show gyms.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's why I said LA Gold.
Yeah, maybe they do like low impact yoga or something like that.
Right. And fucking Werewolves is the guy with the freaking Reebok CrossFit shoes
Yeah.
running around shirtless.
Oh yeah, the shirtless or just like those tank tops, which are just like string pretty much on the side,
Right.
where your whole side is open.
Yeah, you don't have to show packs.
Okay, so incredibly strong. We mentioned earlier that they can either look like human / wolf kind of hybrid, where they have like more human features, like the werewolf and teen wolf look pretty human, but just covered in hair and have like a bit of a snout. You can have ones which are more wolf-like, but still kind of maybe doing a mix between upright and four-legged running. And then you can have like full-on werewolf being a wolf, where it's just like this massive, huge wolf, which is super intimidating. I'm gonna say big wolf more intimidating than tiny bat.
Some people are really afraid of bats, though.
Yeah.
Like, drop that motherfucker in your house at 2 a.m. and tell me you're not gonna fucking scream.
I will scream all day, but I still would rather deal with that than a massive wolf.
I don't know. Bats carry rabies, which is a slow fucking death.
Wolves carry death.
It was so
Pure.
bats.
I feel like wolves can get rabies too, but
Yeah, probably. Also,
yeah.
I just want to throw it out there. Michael J. Fox looked like a fucking bear in Teen Wolf.
Okay, bears are scary too.
Some are probably kind of cute.
They will have long fingernails for scratching, long teeth, very wolf-like or lupine features. They age like humans. They have better vision and hearing. And I would say, as we saw in both Teen Wolf and Teen Wolf 2, pure athletes. Their fast twitch muscles are insane.
Well, because they're kind of like a dog.
Yeah.
They're huskies.
I would say, like, they could be multi-sport athletes like Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson. We're talking like the peak athletes. So
Like Michael Jordan. When he
Yep.
tried to play baseball.
Yep. Exactly like that. I will still take Michael Jordan. He's the greatest, or maybe second greatest basketball player of all time. So yeah, physically, that's kind of where we're at. You had dabbled and mentioned kind of their mental and that sort of characteristic.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you got for your intellectual and mental sort of stuff for vampires?
Well, vampires are very worldly people. Mm-hmm. They've lived through a lot because they don't age. Mm-hmm. They're also vampires like diamonds. They're forever.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is vampires will be like my grandparents, where they don't understand things that have happened in the past few years.
Well, maybe if you have the one that just stopped learning, but some of them they kind of have to, get with the times. You can't just be carrying a bayonet around. At some point, you have to like grab an iPhone and learn how to.
Bayonets.
Bayonet.
I love your accent so much.
Why, thank you.
I'm just imagining a vampire trying to figure out how to text on like a flip phone.
The vampire, it's like he thinks he's kind of with the times. He's still trying to access Alta Vista. He can't. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, they would fit in well with hipsters. So I figure like they'd also be comfortable using typewriters and, like fountain pens.
Or maybe they'll get an old school laptop and still trying to install Netscape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
they've got so many. They've got like a room full of floppy disks in their house. Okay, so
yeah, as we were saying, they're worldly. They have a lot of knowledge. They also have this psychic ability, which allows them to have followers, which are called thralls, and they can have them do their bidding.
Yeah, I'll give you, that's like a pretty badass thing.
Yeah, And they're also, because they can think and they're very rational, they can create big armies through biting and sucking blood. Which means now you can either have a thrall by biting it and making it become a vampire, or just use a human.
Right. So numbers. Yeah, fair enough. Um, anything else? I mean, I think they're smart. They're just like overall smart.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
and good looking too. I mean, look at an interview with a vampire. I mean, fuck.
oh god,
Or the Corys. Dude, they wear their sunglasses at night.
I love it. Yeah, I don't think there's many bad-looking vampire. Oh, there were some in Buffy where they looked like fuck. They're so old. Their face was like a naked mole rat. So that wasn't ideal. But I mean, like whatever.
That's why we vampires started a movement where we no longer suck the blood of the elderly, because we want to portray ourselves as a very youthful organization.
Yeah. I want to make it clear we're not judging anyone who may have been attracted to old-looking vampires. I think different strokes for different folks.
Absolutely.
And different faces that looks like they may have had strokes for different folks.
Yeah, we're just in the vampire organization. We're trying to change the face of vampirism.
So, yeah, you guys are very organized. I like that you're fully on board.
Yeah, very ageist as well.
Which is, I think a bit unfair coming from ageless beings judging people who are old.
Well, we're vampires.
Okay, so a bit full of themselves. I think that could be a fatal flaw where they think they're the best. Untouchable, really.
Yes, I agree with you. That could be, but we are the best. So there's a difference between thinking and actually being.
Yeah, so we'll add to their pros humility. Okay, so mentally, not the werewolf's strong suit. There are, I guess if you're one of those werewolves that can only turn into a werewolf at like full moons, because obviously there's differences. The teen wolf can turn into a werewolf whenever they want, but there are times where it's just like totally depending on the moon. And when you turn into a werewolf, you have no memory of what you've done. It's just fucking blackout.
You just wake up naked in a field like a fucking frat boy.
Mm-hmm. With blood just all over you. Again, like a frat boy. Unsure of who or what you've killed. Again, like a frat boy. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, that's not a good strength for them.
I don't think so.
But you'll see, like, Teen Wolf was always, largely rational, knew what they were doing, in control of emotions.
Didn't he have a couple of instances where he lost his shit?
We don't like to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Every teenager is allowed to have an off day.
We'll call it wolf hormones.
Yeah, they're just raging, and you don't know how to handle it. But yeah, he did freak out at times and was completely out of control. So yeah, not a strong suit. But when
Leslie
they're not
Nielsen
a werewolf.
in Dracula, never freaked the fuck out. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, yes, Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, he had it locked down. If we're comparing anyone to Leslie Nielsen, then that other person's going to lose 100% of the time.
That's why I'm going to win.
So, yeah. But when they're not a werewolf, incredibly smart. Well, not incredibly. They're just a normal human. But smarter than any of the vampire's thralls, I think. So, yeah. Not their strong suit.
And I just want to reiterate that vampires are smart, not because of their superpower, but because of sheer experience, right? They've been around for longer. They know more shit.
Right. But at some point, that stuff's got to be, like, pushed out.
How so?
So, yeah, they might gain knowledge from experience, but at some point, like, that's going to move out, right? Like, you can only have so much knowledge in your head. It's going to get pushed.
Well, but, if they have if they have psychic abilities, they must have uh, more access to their brain, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, maybe like more folds in their brain.
Maybe, perhaps.
Huh, if only we could do an autopsy. But
Ah, fuck.
they disappear. Well, I guess it depends on
Well,
the
I mean,
myth.
they turn to dust, which you can put in a smoothie and sell it at Jamba Juice, and then get way more vampires out of that.
Yep, that's how that works for sure.
Yeah.
That's the science behind it.
Or you can just throw it at a strip club and let people snore it.
Get more vampires.
Yeah.
But also with like experience, what if you just have a lazy vampire who's just like, with the advent of TV, that's all they do. They just fucking Netflix and chill themselves.
Right. There must be a lot of pothead vampires.
Oh my god, yeah.
Where do you think they get their blood from, though?
Well, from victims, or if they're smart, go to like blood banks and stuff like that.
Yeah. But they're potheads. That's the thing. It's like, what if they're just lazy and they're just eating Funyuns and smoking weed?
Maybe. Man, I would think, yeah, if you're a vampire, you should be out there trying like every fucking drug. Except the ones where like you lose control and maybe go out during sunlight.
Right.
Those would be, which I guess maybe could bring us to weaknesses.
Oh. That
Let's
was
hear.
nice. Well done there.
Yeah, thank you. Would you like to point out some of the weaknesses of the werewolf where you think you could take advantage?
Absolutely. And again, I'll start with this because vampires have zero weaknesses, so we might as well just talk about the werewolf ones.
Right. I'm going to disagree, and we'll talk about that soon.
Werewolves can be killed with silver bullets. Now, I don't know if it's anywhere in the body or it has to be a silver bullet to the heart, but I know they do not like silver.
Yeah, which is fine. I think silver's a bit gaudy.
Right.
That's get that white gold, which is infinitely more gaudy.
It's
but
like,
still.
why not platinum? Like
Yeah,
fucking
like, go
silver's
baller.
everywhere.
Like, ugh. Like if you're a werewolf, you could just like kill people and rob them, and you can afford something better than silver. But so maybe it's not so much they're allergic; they just have a preference. They find it beneath them, silver.
Right, and then there's this one's super fucking weird. But there was some writing saying that if a wolf or a werewolf had some cuts and you put salt in said cuts, the werewolf would die.
Yeah, which is. Can you imagine like the first werewolf? Then is like they had no idea. Just,
He
they're
tried to go through a freaking barbed wire, cut himself. Then he was causing shit. A little salt shaker falls, breaks, gets in the cut. He dies.
I'm imagining like a werewolf at like a diner or something. They're cutting, accidentally, or they're like cooking. They accidentally nick themselves, and they're like cooking with salt because you got to season that stuff. And then they get a little bit of salt in that wound, and just like, oh, ouch, ouch, I'm dead. And that's it.
He bites his nails. All of a sudden, he got a little bit of salt in there.
Oh my god! Or like you get cut, you cry a little bit, tears, the salt from tears get in it, and you're done. That's a rude awakening for the first werewolf that happens to. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird weakness.
Yeah.
But can't be like exploited too much. Like that's just.
You make salt bombs? There is that shotgun that shoots out salt. Have
Really?
you seen it online? Yeah, it's to kill flies and shit like that in your house.
What? Why
Dude,
would
it's
you
ridiculous. You can find them in the mall at the Cine TV stores.
Okay.
They're pretty badass.
Well, looks like I know where I'm going right after this.
Hey, just saying, in case you have a werewolf, all you have to do is have one person slash him, and then you pump and shot.
Yeah, why
That's
wouldn't
salt.
they advertise that like both good for flies and werewolves?
It
With,
was
like,
a
the
lost
asterisk.
opportunity.
Like the asterisk at the end, as long as said werewolf has been cut and has
Right.
an open wound. Yeah, I mean that's marketing 101, guys.
Now, I just want to know, what happens if a werewolf gets run over by a tractor trailer?
I think it's like relatively okay. They have super fast healing. So
Okay.
that's
So
not
that's
an
out.
issue.
So really just silver and salt in your wounds.
Yeah, and age.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. They
They-
leave just as much as a human.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean that's a bit of trouble, but whatever. I mean, all of us have finite lives, circle of life, etc. Lion
Except
King.
for vampires.
Not when I get a hold of them.
Uh-oh.
All right, so that's all you got. That's not a ton. Oh, you forgot wolfsbane, which is like this plant, which I guess is they're deathly allergic to. But,
Oh.
yeah, but not like great. They're
Where
like
do you find wolfsbane?
I was trying to look it up, and
Can you grow it in your
places.
garden besides the mint and the cilantro?
yeah, I think you can. Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
yeah. So that's all you got. That's not much.
No.
Oh, you know what has a shit ton of weaknesses? Vampires.
I don't think so.
Okay. Let's start with number 1. Vulnerabilities. Crosses.
Okay, we don't like looking at them.
Or touching them. Oh, God. That'll, like, burn you immediately.
Yeah, maybe.
Holy water. Same deal.
Yeah.
Get blistered.
We
It's
just don't
not
like
great.
water.
Well, you gotta have water, man. That's
I'm a vampire.
hydrating is so important.
Not if you're a vampire. Just
Like-
need blood.
Yeah, I guess that's hydrating as well. Garlic. So bye Italian cuisine.
So yes, we do generally have an intolerance to garlic. We don't really like it. It makes us bloated
Mm-hmm.
to the point of explosion. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. how
which
to
is
quote it.
really
and also gassy.
which is tough because garlic is the basis for so many like cuisines.
Yeah. So by general rule, we don't. If you've eaten a lot of garlic, we'll stay away from you for a little bit because your blood is just again gonna be farty, and
Yep.
we don't want that.
No, that's. I guess it's like lactose intolerance for them,
Yeah,
but all of them
something like
have it. Okay, so what else? Oh, what's that one thing that appears every single day and it's a source of life for most things?
that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, the sun.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys can't be in the sun. So, like 12 hours a day, give or take, you're shut down. Like, that's it.
Okay, I'm listening.
Um,
What if we were to move to the Northwest Territories during that whole time where there is no sun?
okay, good luck finding a lot of people to eat.
I don't. None of it, people.
Do you mean Inuits?
Inuits. I didn't want to say Eskimos because
Yeah.
apparently that's wrong nowadays.
Yeah,
but I
it's
couldn't
not good.
remember that he was
Yeah,
Inuits.
Inuits.
Yeah, I'll eat Inuits.
But the population's so. I mean, that's very progressive of you. I think we should point that out. Good for you. You're a vampire that doesn't see race. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just population density. There's not many.
Yeah,
people
we
out
would
there.
have to.
You'd run out of fast.
Here's what I think we could do. We would build a thriving economy.
Okay. Explain.
I don't know how yet. I need to go back to the drawing board, and then get everyone to move. It'll be like the gold rush.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Maybe we've had mutual funds for years and years and years as a vampire, and we have a shit ton of money. And now we're just gonna give people free money to move to Nunavut or the
Okay.
Northwest Territories, and then fuck it, we just. Or there was also that TV show True Blood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you. I never watched it, but I knew there was like fake blood.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Fucking no
Anyways.
one wants to live in Nunavut.
But yeah, I
Anyways,
mean, it's not. It
continue.
doesn't have to do with the blood. It has to do with. I mean, it's also really cold there.
Yeah, I know. I
Um,
know. Fuck Nunavut. Yeah, okay.
well,
I'll just
no, don't
fucking
say
sleep
that.
for most of the day.
Okay. What else we got? You can get killed by a stake through the heart.
Yeah, but you'd have to be very close to me.
Yeah, that's fine. Because you sleep for half the day in a fucking casket. You sleep. You could.
Only when the sun is out.
Yeah. So half the day you're just like in a known location. Yeah, I get like,
I'm not gonna tell you where I fucking leave.
oh man, it's not like I could get people to follow you.
Not if I become a fucking bat.
Oh, you know what goes as fast as a bat or faster? A car. Drones. Oh,
Oh.
that just came to me, and that's brilliant.
Now, yeah, wait until you fucking become a werewolf and then you destroy your remote control and bye bye drone.
You know what? I would have friends because I'm a personable werewolf. Did you see, especially if I'm like Teen Wolf, where I'm just like this fucking all-star player, dude? I'd be like balling out in the NBA, boxing on the side. I would have fans be, hey,
But what if you're not Teen Wolf? How do you ever hold a job as a fucking werewolf?
well, I'm hoping I'm the Teen Wolf variety.
Every other night, you're just destroying shit. You're
It's,
all over social media.
if we're going for the kind that turn into like at full moon, that's only like a few days a month. That's fine. That's handled. And then you can schedule vacation days around it. You could get a job that is daytime. Work from home. Have you heard of telecommuting, David? Telecommuting.
I don't know. I don't know about that. What if you work night shift?
Well, I
And your
clearly
boss-
would never work night shift.
And your boss, Andy, won't give you the night off when it's full moon.
Then Andy's the first to go. Andy made his bed, now he's got to sleep in it.
19-year-old Andy, the manager at McDonald's,
Yep.
is a dickhead for not giving the werewolf a night off.
Wait. Again, I would just go for day shift stuff.
Yeah, but like,
But
what if you get scheduled to work at nights because
Oh, yeah, because all those office jobs that work at night.
some
Nut.
do? What if you're
Telenovela. You want to say
telenovela?
telenovela?
No. No, phone marketing to someone across the other side of the world, and now you have to sell it at night because it's their day.
Okay, again, I'm not going to take that job. I don't think you get that part where I don't have to.
Well, maybe you
it's
don't
a job
have
hunter's market.
qualifications to work in a day job. I'm just saying.
Oh man, well, now I don't have an educational background for this because I'm just looking at werewolves as a whole.
Because you got kicked out of university because you became a werewolf and fucking destroyed half the library.
Oh, because people wouldn't love seeing a werewolf. Anyways, you get enough good friends where they just like chain you up, and that's what they do in movies all the time.
Like the slaves?
Yeah, you're up back on that, huh? Yeah, so that's fine. That's solvable. So yeah, again, your weaknesses in a casket can be followed by a drone. You need to feed. You got to go out hunting. Some vampires vulnerable to silver as well. So, I mean, that's a wash.
Well, but you'd have to hit the vampire in the heart with a silver bullet, so you'd have to have really good.
Really good aim?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a wolf. I'm pretty sure their hand-eyes on point. Okay. Oh. Hey, you know how I can just, like, pop into a house whenever I wanted, really? I just knock on a door?
We're just. We like to ask first, okay?
Sorry, like to ask, or do werewolves have to ask to enter a home?
No, I'm just saying vampires are good citizens.
You're very polite.
They're extremely polite. We don't want to come into your house if you don't want us there. Mm-hmm. I'm also not going to tell you that I'm a vampire.
Well, hey, if we're in a battle and I'm a werewolf, I'd be like, I can just not invite this person in. Like,
yes.
yeah,
That's the thing.
I feel like as a werewolf, I would know a bit about vampires. So,
You know, it's a really good question. So, what if, big what if, we're in California,
Yep.
the big one happens,
yeah.
earthquake,
Yep.
your house is destroyed. You didn't die because you're a werewolf. You're in werewolf shape. And I'm a vampire. Now there is no house. I don't have to fucking ask anymore.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, yeah.
Or am I bound by the blueprints of the house?
No, I think once that house doesn't exist, you're good to go. But you know what? Oh,
If you had no roof, if it was just four walls.
I think you're in trouble still.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's limiting.
Stupid rule.
Yeah, I mean, well, politeness really doesn't get you far anymore.
I see that.
Young people these days, am I right? So impolite.
Millennials.
Okay, so yeah, that's a lot of weaknesses. A lot.
Yeah,
of
but when you
weaknesses.
think about it, still a bit more than the werewolf. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll give you that.
All right. Anything else you kind of want to go over for strengths and weaknesses?
I mean, I just want to draw attention to the fact that if I really wanted to, I could just disappear and wait shit out. Come back, like maybe not even wait shit out, but like, what if I just come back in like 40 years and I'm like, oh, you're old as fuck. I'm like, what you gonna do, werewolf? Right? Because like the drone only has so much battery. I can fly
So
for
you're
a
gonna
long
fly.
time.
You're gonna just circumnavigate the globe constantly.
As a bat, I'm gonna go in circles for about 50 minutes, and then I'm gonna find an exit, and I'm
Okay.
gonna fly away.
Done.
Considering that most drones, at least the ones we can buy, fly for about 30 to 36 minutes.
That is very specific
I know. I was looking at drones yesterday for no apparent reason.
for this, apparently. Okay, so I think we've done an excellent, in-depth scientific.
I'd say so.
Discussion over-
We provided our models and our data.
Okay, so how are you gonna kill this werewolf?
Oh, you want to fight?
Yeah, let's.
You wanna
fucking
go?
fight. You want to go?
Oh,
Let's
shit,
go
bro.
outside during the
Oh,
day,
shit, bro.
No, not during the day. Okay.
No, yeah. If the sun's out, I'm gonna pass.
Mm-hmm.
I'll. Can we wait till 6:30 p.m.?
It's daylight savings time, so yeah, that works.
I'm just gonna crack open the window every now and then and see what happens. I may have a scar on my face. It might be the sun coming through, but
Right.
bro, trust me, bro.
I think that's your big mistake is even having a window in the room you sleep.
Well, you have to have resale value of a house.
Just
I
live in
bought it as an
forever.
investment. No,
Just Airbnb it on
no,
weekends.
because you know what the other weakness of a vampire is? I can't own shit forever because I have to move every 50 years or so. Because every once in a while, I'm gonna get friendly with the community.
Yeah.
People are gonna say hello, my neighbors. All of
Oh
a sudden,
man,
it's like
everyone wants to be friendly with a vampire. That's
I
for
know.
sure.
Well, I'm gonna be a fucking cool vampire, and all of a sudden they're gonna say, "Whoa, check this motherfucker out! Vlad here hasn't aged a bit, and I am old as fuck. So now I have to pick up and move somewhere else, and then come back once all those motherfuckers are dead. So I guess I could just keep renting for another 100 years. And then come
Yeah.
back. But
Yeah.
still, people want windows. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
true.
have a pimp basement and a cave, if I may, and that's where I'm gonna
Oh,
do
you
all my
may.
living. And then the upper part will be for resale value, and so I will have windows.
Okay, and you'll just like peek out.
Yeah.
once you've
So
woken up.
guess what, motherfucker? It's nighttime now. So it's a full moon in the middle of June in the
Yep.
summer of '69. I was young and cool. Okay, I'm not gonna recite that
No.
song anymore. But I'm coming out. It's
Yeah.
nighttime. You're a full werewolf. What werewolf are you gonna be? The fucking crazy, irrational one, or Michael J. Fox?
Oh, this is your fantasy. How about you choose for me?
Okay. Oh, I like that. You're gonna be the fucking crazy ass werewolf. No control
The most
whatsoever.
powerful version.
Yeah, super, super powerful, but still, like mostly in all 4s, running. You're like a fucking animal at this
Yep.
point. You're destroying everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, once in a while, I'm just like, oh, I was about to say I'll fucking teleport here and there, but fucking vampires do not do that.
Nope.
But I am fucking fast as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna be going around. I'm gonna lure you into a couple things. I'm gonna let you plow through some walls, get tired. Oh, it's a couple
My endless
hours.
stamina that I've gotten from being in the CrossFit.
Yeah, that's fair. But you know what? I've been doing yoga. I'm flexible. I can fucking move fast, and also I'm zen as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna bring a couple of my buddies because I can do that shit.
Yeah.
We're outside. You don't even know what inside is because you're just this crazy monster that's like running around.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'll do is I'll lure you into a facility where I'll get my proxies to give you 1,000 cuts. There don't have to
Whoa.
be a lot of them. Just little cuts here and there, jabs, and I don't care if a few of them die.
I was going to ask, like, how... I'm just going to take them out.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what they're there for. They're puns. I just want them to cut you. Dude, they could have like nail files. I don't care. Just do little cuts. Your jabs here and there.
Right.
And then when you least expect it, I'm going to fucking start getting my salt shotgun and start pumping loads of salt into your wounds and just watch you fucking die.
Oh, man. Just shrivel up, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, like a prune.
Yeah. And that's how you do it.
I think that's how I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or have 2 other of my proxies drop a bag of salt. And like cooking salt, like the cheapest shit ever.
Oh, I
Could
don't
be
even
that
get...
no-name stuff.
I don't even get mountain Himalayan. I don't get the Himalayan pink salt.
Nah, it's not even coarse. It's just like the shit that clumps.
Ugh, gross. I deserve it.
So that's how I would do
That's
it.
how you would do it.
That's how I would do it, yeah. I think it's a pretty smart way.
Yeah, that's okay. I've heard better.
How would you do it? How would you kill me in your fantasy?
Well, I've got a couple of plans for you.
All right, give it to me.
Number 1, I just don't go outside at night. Boom. That's... I waited out. I
So in your fantasy, you are Michael J. Fox. Like, you know that you're not going to go outside at night. You're Teen Wolf.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm going Teen Wolf all day.
Okay.
I mean, elite athlete, strength, long nails, smart.
Serves on the top of vans.
Mm-hmm. Surfs on vans. The charisma of either a young Michael J. Fox or a young Jason Bateman. I'll do that all day. So I just like hang out at my place at night, and it's fine. A lot of people don't have much of a social life after work. The advent of streaming media has been really good to me, so I just wait until I die. And yeah, it's kind of a war of attrition. It's a little bit of a Cold War kind of thing going on.
Okay.
But I live a full life. I have a loving family. They just know they can go out.
So you wouldn't kill me. What if I kill your family? Or turn them into vampires?
Well, then I don't invite them into the house. I make them at my doorway.
Are you going to homeschool your kids?
No, they can go out during the day. Boom. At my door.
What about when they become teenagers and they want to go to parties?
Well, at that point, they lived a good life. So, I mean, do I think it's polite of the vampire to go after family? No. Your whole thing was politeness, and now you're doing this, but whatever.
I'm going to be kind of a shithead too if I want to.
We can see who you really are.
Yeah. Hey.
So that's plan 1. And, during that plan, I can just go out. I got that drone. I'm watching where you're going. Sneak up on you. No, don't even need to sneak up on you during the day. Walk in, because you know what I've been doing at night?
Shooting heroin?
No, I have been doing online courses in lockpicking, so I just get into your door very easily.
Right, because I would have a regular fucking Canadian Tire or Home Hardware lock.
Well, I've taken a lot of lockpicking classes. So I go in, I disarm your alarm. Your code is always 6969.
It's my favorite number. Either that or 8008.
Yeah.
Because his boobs. That's pretty awesome.
And I make a nice little snack, and I just chill for a bit, and then right at the crack. Oh, well, I guess I was gonna say the crack of dawn. Right when the sun sets, you're like, oh, yawning. I'm just getting up, and then boom, stake through the heart. That's version 1. That's pretty good.
But you also have to. You need to know where I live.
The drone.
Which is but the drone only flies for a little bit. Fucking bats can go forever.
That's not true.
No, but more than 36 minutes.
Okay. Well, army of drones. And And then the other version I like a little bit more, where I face you heads up, because if there's one thing you can say about a werewolf is that they're courageous.
Wow.
Courageous werewolves.
That's the word you want to go for?
Uh-huh. But I don't go when I'm a werewolf. I go in human form because I don't need it to beat you.
I know that you're a werewolf?
Well, yeah, I assume in this we've been battling.
Oh, okay,
this is a whole thing.
Yeah, it's been going on. We've had a feud for years.
Yeah. And I go during the day to visit my favorite seamstress or tailor.
What's her name?
Her name is Consuela.
Oh, I like Consuela. She's good.
She does great work.
She's good. She's that little big box, small by I-75.
Yep.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. She's been doing it her family's been doing it for generations. They do great stuff.
Yeah, her mom was a seamstress, and her mom's mom, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a long time, and they know. But they're also kind of like a little bit avant-garde as well, so they'll be down with my crazy suggestion.
Dude, they do all my capes.
Yeah. Nice. And here's what I get them to make me: a suit made out of UV lights, crosses, and garlic-infused thread.
I don't know that Consuelo has the technology to make a UV light suit.
You just put UV lights together. It doesn't need to be a perfect stitching. This is function, not fashion. If they can toss in fashion, sure, great.
Is it solar power or battery powered?
I'll go battery powered, man.
That's a big battery you're gonna have to carry.
Well, I'm very strong. I've been doing a lot of CrossFit. So, and I go and find you because we're about to fight, and you're like,
and I'm ready.
Yeah, you're ready. And then I walk up like the fucking knight in literally shining armor, and you're like, oh God, did someone cook some pasta with some garlic? I'm like, no, that's my suit. And then I flash on the lights, and you're like, ah,
I fry,
and you burn, and there's just like a pile of dust, and I just do lines out of you, just to rub it in. I'm just doing lines. I don't even like it, but I will finish you.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
And that's how I win.
Right, but here's the thing, though. Vampires, my people, we die from the energy harnessed by the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like your UV lights. How are you trapping
it works.
sunlight?
It worked in the Blade movies, so this has precedence.
Right.
This has happened in real life, and
fucking Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, I don't approve you poking holes in my final battle because I just closed those holes. And I think that's it.
Fucking call the IRS on fucking Consuelo. Let's see who's gonna make that fucking suit for you.
IRS? Do you mean immigration?
No, but maybe they have tax issues. I don't. You know what? You're being.
Yeah, you're.
That's kind of assuming that Consuelo doesn't have her fucking green card.
She's been there for generations. We've already covered this.
Yeah, you're saying that maybe she doesn't have papers. That's fucking.
I'm saying we live in a society where no one of color is safe.
That's fucking racist.
I was
just saying the IRA because of taxes, but
sorry, IRS. IRA is the Irish Republic.
Oh yeah, that's right, IRS. I meant the IRS.
I mean both. You don't want either going after you.
Fucking plant the bomb in there. Thank you, IRA. Sorry.
All right. Well, I think that's it. That's the battle.
Yeah.
So.
I think we'll leave it up to both of you guys and see which case is more plausible and who's gonna win, with Dracula or Michael J. Fox in Teen Wolf.
Michael.
Dracula. 100%.
All right. Thanks for listening, folks. We've come to the end of this episode of Battlefight 3000.
Battlefight 3000.
We hope you've enjoyed Vampires vs. Werewolves.
If you have any comments, questions, statements, or future battle ideas, please feel free to hit us up by email at battlefight3000@gmail.com or on Twitter at handle @battlefight3000.
Now for the important stuff.
We need you to vote on who won the fight.
Please vote on our poll at our Twitter feed. Again, that's at Battlefight 3000.
If you don't vote, we will be oil wrestling to determine a winner, and we don't want to do that.
No, we prefer to do that for fun and not have such high stakes attached to it. We'll announce the winner on the next show.
And until next time,
May all your fights
be battle fights.